The Sixers took on the Atlanta Hawks last night in a game that had a lot of good news coming in for Philadelphia. The first game all season long, the Sixers had Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe available and playing, rocking their new City Edition throwback jerseys. The first game that VJ played since he's been out with his calf injury. It was great to see him back out on the floor. And also the first game Embiid has played in quite a while, missed 10 games with knee soreness, finally came back. So this was supposed to be a game, right? All the guys are coming back. Can the Sixers now get back on track? Instead, it was a heart-crushing double overtime loss at home for Philadelphia against a Hawks team that did not have Trae Young. Now, they've been better without Trae Young than when they have him in there, but still a tough one to stomach. We're going to break down the game, go through some of these debuts, or I guess first game back from injury for some of these guys on Philadelphia. And we're going to talk about a worrisome trend that is emerging now through about the first 20 games of the season. And on the back half of the show as well, we are going to discuss and go through some film from this game. Some of the things I saw at the end of the game in overtime towards the end of regulation that was really just maddening. Before we do get into that, though, it's a new month, which means time to start a new sub battle here. We did beat Celtics today in our November sub battle, so we're going to run it back here in December. Of course, today is December 1st. So who can pick up more subs this month? I want to beat my boy Tyler Smith over there at Celtics today. So if you want Sixers coverage all year long, this is your one-stop shop. So go ahead and hit that sub button. And let's start talking about this game, beginning with Joel Embiid again. First time he has played in quite a while. And so you never know what to expect with Embiid coming off of injury with that knee soreness, but ended up playing the most minutes of any game he's played all season long, 30 minutes. Stats look solid. It was really a tale of two halves, though, for Joel Embiid with those 18 points. First half looked really good, especially the very beginning of the game defensively. I thought he was moving around well, making some plays, hitting some of his mid-range shots. Didn't hit any of his three-point attempts in this one. But then in the second half, you could tell, right? He hasn't been out there a whole lot this season. Starts to get tired, starts to get fatigued, not really moving around all that well. Really, at the end of the game, wasn't much of a factor, but it was just good to see him back out there. Hopefully now we can see him out there for a more extended period of time because the Sixers team is better when Embiid is out there. VJ Edgecombe also making his return. He's been dealing with a calf injury, and you never want to mess around with the calf stuff, especially because VJ's been playing a ton of minutes early on in the year. Was pretty limited in terms of his minutes restriction, played just over 20 minutes in this one and didn't have a huge impact, but did look pretty spry early on, had a couple of super athletic plays to start this game. I mean, just seeing that starting unit of Maxey, VJ, Paul George, and Embiid out there on the floor, that's what the Sixers team is supposed to be, and he looked very good being out there with everybody. So, liked what I saw out of VJ. Obviously, he will continue to ramp up and get back into the swing of things. But, some good first steps, although, again, he didn't make much of an impact late in this one. Now let's get to Paul George. Obviously, Paul George has been kind of on and off here and there since he came back from his knee injury. And I thought defensively was really good in this game, not just the 5 steals that he had, but, staying in front of guys, making plays in the passing lanes. That's where he's been the best for Philadelphia this season, is on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, still trying to find his rhythm, still trying to find his shot. Really been here and there, just 2 of 8 from 3 in this one, and did miss some big-time shots down the stretch of regulation. I can remember one corner 3 near the end of the game that would have been big for Philadelphia. But as a whole, him being out there, especially with Kelly Oubre still out with his injury, is so important for defensive purposes. And I think we saw towards, the first overtime, second overtime, when he wasn't out there on the floor, when McCain came in for him late, it was a pretty big drop-off in terms of the defense for Philadelphia, especially when you consider, Jalen Johnson for Atlanta was really cooking the Sixers. But I still thought overall good stuff there from Paul George. Staying on the injury front here, so Andre Drummond against the Nets on Friday hyperextended that knee, sprained that knee, and actually left the game in a wheelchair, right? So you're not thinking he's going to be out here playing on Sunday. Somehow Drummond was ready to go yesterday against Atlanta, played just 6 minutes, ended up getting ruled out at halftime with soreness in that knee. I don't know why he was playing in this game to begin with, especially since Embiid was back. No reason to push Drummond. He said he felt good, wanted to be out there, but it was clear he wasn't right, dealing with soreness. Hopefully, this doesn't mean he's out now for even longer, because Drummond's been really good this season when he has been healthy. But to put him out there in this scenario, I just don't know if that was the smartest thing to do, given what we saw, him coming off on the wheelchair. Want to get to Tyrese Maxey as well. And the big number here, 44, 9, and 7 is absolutely ridiculous, regardless if it was double overtime or not. An insane stat line, and he continues to be great. But the 52 minutes played in this game, that is an absurd number for a regular season game before we even hit the new year. And it's been like this all season long. Maxey is the leader among all NBA players in minutes played this season, and he has missed a game here and there at 772. And every game, it feels like he's playing 40-plus minutes. And we've already started to see, with VJ Edgecombe getting injured, with Kelly Oubre getting injured. Oubre's was a little bit more of a freak thing with the hyperextension, but VJ Edgecombe is the calf, a soft tissue. These guys playing big minutes is going to start piling up. And I don't love seeing Maxey out there like it's a game 7, playing 50-plus minutes in a game. They got to figure something out. And I know you don't want to play Kyle Lowry. You don't want to play Eric Gordon. But at some point, his minutes just have to come down a little bit more. But again, I kind of understand where Nick Nurse is coming from, because late in these games, it's really just Maxey doing work across both overtimes. Both overtimes. Tyrese Maxey, 12 points, 6 of 10 from the field. Nobody else scored more than 3 points in both overtime periods combined last night. McCain with 3, Grimes with 2, Paul George with a couple of free throws. Now, this can speak to another larger issue that we talked about with the Sixers offense late in games. Nick Nurse not really drawing anything up, kind of giving the ball to Maxey, saying, hey, go get it. And it does work a lot of the times. And the Sixers are not very good when he's not out there. But look, I know McCain's coming off the injury. Obviously, VJ, minutes restriction in this one. But you can't keep letting Maxey go out there for all these minutes every single night this early in the year. It's going to burn him out, and you put him at risk of injury. Now, with this loss, the Sixers did fall to 10-9 on the year. Remember, they did start the season 5-1, so 5-8 since that start. Feels like so long ago. Now at 9th in the Eastern Conference, pretty firmly in the play-in at the moment, with some teams, starting to separate themselves at the top, but still, you see like the Raptors, you see the Heat, you see the Hawks, you see the Magic. I'm not scared of a lot of those teams. I'm just not. So, can the Sixers start to pick it up? We'll see. But this is where I start to see this worrisome trend that I was talking about at the top of the show that's been arising here for the 76ers. 10-9 on the year. You love that they're over 500. You love that it's not quite the disaster that it was last season, right? But on the year, Philadelphia, at this 10-9 record, when they have faced teams 500 or above, Philadelphia is just 4-8. Against below 500 teams, they're great. They're handling business against the bottom tier of the NBA at 6-1. But if you can't put your best foot forward against these good teams, how can we take the Sixers seriously when it comes to playoff time? How are they supposed to win a 7-game series in the first round of the playoffs when they can't beat these good teams? There are 4 wins this year against teams that are 500 or better. The Celtics, twice. The Magic, and then the Raptors, which was a decent win. Magic, a decent win, but they haven't really beat anybody all that great. When they play these good teams, they lose more often than not. And, we're almost 20 games into the year. At some point, you can't just keep saying, oh, it's early, it's early, it's early. These trends do start to take shape and start to dictate what you're going to do for the entire season. And yeah, they haven't been healthy all year, but they were healthy last night for the most part, right? Obviously, Drummond, no Trent and Watford, but that's a game you got to win at home against the Atlanta Hawks. And if they don't start beating these good teams, it's not going to give me or any Sixers fan confidence if you want to see them make a playoff push and avoid giving Oklahoma City a potential another lottery pick coming up in this year's draft. Now, coming up next, We're going to do a bit of a film study here on the show. We're going to go through some plays that happened late in this game that are really the reasons why Philadelphia ended up losing. Going to be a pretty cool deep dive that we haven't done too often here on the show. So stick around. You're going to want to see what we got to say. Before we get into all of that, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, and that is our friends at DraftKings. We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. Stars are going off, rookies are making noise, and the action doesn't stop. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Don't forget, the Emirates NBA Cup is rolling along. Big moments, big matchups, and a whole lot on the line. Don't miss out. Jump in and bet on the action today. New customers, bet just $5 and get $200 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SixersChat. That's code SixersChat. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Off day for the Sixers. These are my picks. Little 4-pick parlay here. Plus 1251 odds. If it smacks, pretty big payout. $100 into 1200. Give me the Hawks plus 9.5. Huge road underdogs against the Detroit Pistons. I think Atlanta is a damn good team, even without Trae Young. Give me the Heat as 6.5-point favorites against the Clippers at home. Clippers are not a good team. Miami, I think maybe a little bit overrated, but I think they still cover that spread. Denver, huge favorites at home against the Mavericks. The Mavericks suck. Give me Denver minus 11.5. Give me the Lakers minus 4.5 as well over the Phoenix Suns. Of course, odds and lines are subject to change. Big shout out to DraftKings for sponsoring today's show. All right, so let's do it. Let's get into the film study. Went back and rewatched some of the big moments at the end of this one. Regulation, first overtime, second overtime, and really just a series of frustrating events that led to the Sixers collapsing and losing this one in double overtime, a game that I think they should have won. Let's get started here. This one, not really on the Sixers, more frustration towards the refs, which, look, the refs are not the reason at all the Sixers lost this game. They lost this game because of their defense, which we'll get to here in a moment. But at the end of this one, as I move aside here, you can see there's just a few seconds left to go in regulation. Tie ball game. The Hawks had just missed a shot, and you can see Paul George grab the rebound, holding it, has not dribbled yet. I circled here Nick Nurse yelling at the ref right there for a timeout. Sixers had one left. Would have been able to advance the ball and get a shot off. Instead, the ref doesn't hear Nick Nurse calling timeout, so Paul George heaves a half-court shot. He misses. We go to overtime. Nick Nurse was livid, man. He was pissed. The ref is right there. I don't know how you missed this. Obviously, no guarantee the Sixers would have made a shot and won this game in regulation, but you would have liked to see it at the very least. He was calling timeout. It's as clear as day. He's making the signal. It sucks, but, Sixers still have their chances in overtime to win this game, but a very frustrating moment in this one. Then we get into the overtime, and this is where there were some big issues for the Sixers that just simply cannot happen in an overtime game. These are honestly more frustrating than what happened with the ref because the Sixers can control this, right? Here we are in overtime. Sixers up 2, under 2 minutes to go. And this is when things just started going south, right? You had a player for Atlanta drive in. Dominic Barlow here was guarding Jalen Johnson. Helped off Jalen Johnson in the corner, who historically not a great three-point shooter. He's been very good this year. He's their best player right now with no Trae Young. You cannot give up a shot. There's nobody near him in the corner right now. The easiest three-point shot you can get. Jalen Johnson hits this. Hawks go up 1 with under 2 minutes to go. Then, a little bit later, this is double overtime. Sixers, once again, up 1, right? So they're battling. They're fighting. Hawks, you see Jalen Johnson here. First of all, another wide-open shot for him. Luckily, this one didn't go. But what do you see here? There's 4 Sixers bodies right around the basket. Dyson Daniels, might have been a foul on him. You see Tyrese Maxey falling down here after Maxey's trying to box him out. Daniels got around him. Was it a foul? Was it not? Either way, there's, not counting Maxey, 3 other Sixers right around the basket. Daniels fights, gets this offensive rebound, which again, you just cannot allow. I know it's Jared McCain down there, Quentin Grimes, but you got to fight for it, right? So he gets the offensive rebound off a missed shot, which would have been huge, and then kicks it back out. And what do you know? You get another wide open 3 for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was absolutely hooping all night for Atlanta. This, again, just too much space. You see Maxey still unable to recover from falling down. Just things like this, offensive rebounding, leaving guys wide open, that have hurt the Sixers all year long. And then, you figure, all right, Jalen Johnson, who scored 41 points in this game, by the way, hitting a couple threes late in this game, hit that big one in double overtime. You're probably going to continue to guard him, right? You're not going to keep leaving him wide open. How about this? 2.5 minutes to go, tie ball game. I mean, what are we doing? Again, Dominic Barlow helping off a drive, leaving Johnson open. I get it. You got to play your help defense. You got to rotate. I'm not saying it's totally Barlow's fault on these, right? Sixers got to stay in front of these defenders and not let them just drive right in. But a wide open look. You think I'm done? No, because once again, and another big spot, Sixers down 3 with under 2 minutes to go. Jalen Johnson wide open. And by the way, in this one, no one's even trying to get out to him. No one's even trying. Grimes is just standing here. You got 3 guys in the paint. It's unbelievable to leave a guy this wide open. And if you watch this clip on this one too, Johnson had his foot over the line. He had time to look down, move his foot behind the 3-point line, and then shoot this basketball, which of course he made, put the Hawks up by 6 with just over a minute to go in double overtime. And that was really it. So just a lot of frustrating moments from that game that it's not solely in this game. It's stuff like this has happened all year long. And the Sixers, again, when they're playing this many close games, this many games down to the wire, they're not going to win every single one. So I think, obviously defensively, they got to be better. Nick Nurse, you got to run some kind of offense late in games. It can't just be Tyrese Maxey, go get us a bucket, or else they're going to keep losing these games to actual good teams. It works fine against bad teams, but against good teams, it's not going to cut it. So be honest with me right now before we hop on out of here. Are the Sixers a playoff team? Right now, they're not. Right now, they are a play-in team. Are they a playoff team? Give me a yes. Give me a no down below in the comment section. And one last reminder to hit that sub button. I want to win this December sub battle. At the end of the day, you are a winner because you get absolutely free Sixers coverage all year long. Lock us in. Hit that sub button, and I'll see you on the next one.